There is this 15 years old, student who misses the classes one day, and the next morning, as he shows up at school, the teacher basically kind of calls him apart and says, "But come here and tell me, why did you miss the classes yesterday?" And he says, "You know what, teacher, I had to do, actually. I had to take the cow to the bull." The cow to the bull. Right. Yeah, all right. But couldn't your father do that instead? And he said, "Now that I think, yeah, my father can do that too, but I believe the bull does it better." So, coming to the point, when it comes to innovation, when it comes to novelties, when it comes to disruption of unique value propositions, you better be the bull. The question which we raised today is innovation mission or business. Reminds me of the fact that normally the world is somehow, and the life we have to do, basically is very similar to the school. All the problems you have to solve are man-made. Well, your answer is going to be natural. Your answer is somehow this innovation concept, meaning that the answer we give to man-made problems actually runs in your veins as creativity. When you innovate, in fact, you are going to endorse a new stand. Neither the teachers nor the fathers is the way how you're going to do the bull. It is virile. It is unstoppable. It is natural. It's deep. Of course, nourished with knowledge, with research, intuition, rich in emotional intelligence, love, empathy. But somehow, even when inventing the artificial intelligence, humans were behaving so genuinely natural. For innovation in the concept is, in fact, the most fair expression of our way of response, is efficiency in the highest form. And I believe in this conversation now we will somehow explore and identify what shall we identify as innovation. At the end of the day, innovation is not a conclusion of a moral calculation. It's a graceful, ethical contemplation. It's such a deep spiritual satisfaction, a bright enlightenment of both soul and mind. Basically, all running on deep-rooted principles. You may not think of it, but somehow your being daily responds to silent questions. Where do I belong? Why am I here? What do I want? Your peace is the reflection of your surrounding world, and somehow it is your answers that rock the patterns mostly. When Nikola Tesla spoke firstly about free energy, actually the guy was not talking business, nor running into a philanthropy concept, no. His genius was addressing a cosmic issue, not a government objective. His idea almost left him broke, but he revamped loud a number of human rights, equality, energy should be free and all men have access to it. When I initiated List for Free, my company in the UK, a few years ago, I was myself shocked. Why should one that has spent a lifetime saving money to pay for the house they own now need to pay again in order to put it back to the market to sell it? And this time to a marketing company. This is actually a joke, right? The country where the Magna Carta, the Bill of Rights, was born, refuses the most the assumption that all men are good till the contrary is proven. In the market, by default, you are bad till you pay. The moment you pull out your wallet and you pay, then maybe you are not dubious, you are not fake. So, what made our civilization great was the assumption that all men are innocent till the contrary is proven. The same is valid when we discuss about commercial, issues. So you are on a positive note till the contrary is proven. But in the real estate market in the UK, that wasn't the case. Now was somehow, shocked by that. And with List for Free, we decided to walk exactly the contrary. I've been discussing this with Alice in an interview, quite a few months ago. We decided to reinstate trust and confidence, to take people seriously and give them trust, to reinstate these values in the market, to basically allow them to trade freely till a deal is reached, giving back dignity to homeowners. And not only, when hands are shaken and numbers nailed, then the parties would self-disclose the deal, and we then apply a success fee that allows on average a family to save minimum £9,000. Because normally you are there to help the people. You are there to treat them as free men, not as trapped subjects. And for that reason, recognizing all these natural rights, these natural values of humanity, this is how you find yourself in the market for the success of your customers, of your community. And there is no success without a moral uplifting of each other. There is no innovation without a moral component, a moral win for all the parties, because innovation is moral. Sometimes it's just a tool serving a goal, but the goal at the end day is always moral. So before being scientific, theoretically sound and practically convenient, normally innovation has to be ethically great. And in this spirit, basically, I invite each and every to check on what avenue comes your way and find out how moral is, what moral values does this thing brings. Because without moral values, it's not innovation, it's a trick. So the win-win model may be the most wise and reasonable approach we have ever adopted, because this is how we produce the added value. Any other approach is, to me, a zero-sum economy. We earn by sharing. We grow by helping. We achieve by cooperating, and we succeed by innovating. I had this same inspiration when I established Freitech GmbH in Leipzig, in Germany. That was in the beginning of this year. It was as harmonious a move as a Johann Sebastian Bach piece of music. Leipzig is his town. 3+ years, day in, day out, I had sound proof of proficient boys and girls, young engineers, coding every day, producing software, managing databases, and running a myriad of technologies. Hundreds and hundreds of names were sitting on top of my table every single day, till I decided to bring in change. What did I do? I basically dropped off my job. I went to Germany, registered this company, and normally we started the creation of a headquarters in Germany, of a myriad of companies linked with each other through franchise. Now we do have partners in Denmark, Sweden, 2 in Belgium, 2 in Netherlands, 2 in the UK, 2 in Italy, and we are just signing now with a new American company. And since April, 4 huge companies with nice products have joined this commercial network. And normally, all of these companies are cutting-edge technology, represent cutting-edge technologies, very advanced. We have companies that are actually working with NASA. They are certified by Google. They are assisting Capgemini. We have companies that normally are advising governments, and even the European Commission. So in this structure, our numerous excellent Albanian engineers stand a much bolder chance to succeed. What was my inspiration for that? Simple. Albanians are not just a cheap labor force. Young Albanians no longer can be slaves to the past of their nation. It is actually wonderful to see Albanian engineers perform and shine in quality against the best breed of European software developers. They're reliable, competitive. They are absolutely a skillful army of people eager to integrate to the best markets while serving them remotely from the country where they belong. And here we come with another finding when it comes to innovation. In a world of multi-layered identity, the real identity of a person is their commitment to innovate. As Heraclitus rightly says, change is the only constant. In the same way, innovation is our real identity, our true identity. We are the speed and wisdom of our change, of our continuous improvement. Innovation is, in this framework, the face of your heart. This shiny half of moon that travels dark skies through all shapes and forms. Every day we reinvent ourselves. We enrich and renew our thoughts, our beliefs, our behaviors. And normally we convert ourselves into a new, improved identity. The same way a sculpture is produced. We innovate by removing, not by adding. We let go of the unnecessary. We simplify. We carve out the superfluous, useless ego and make of our features a unique, distinguished, and unforgettable self. In the same way, we make our solutions irresistible and so easy to use because innovation is universal. That's another feature. So, it may affect a small space initially, maybe one human life, but it is designated to be universal. Its transcendental origins make it so, turn it into a cosmic event, turn it into a phenomenon, a global awareness. And sometimes, you see, we are surrounded very often by people who feel bored, by people who run, non-creative jobs, routine work, and they rely on the same set of skills, face small, irrelevant challenges, and this is boring. And in order to get out of this comfort zone you may be used to be living in, you need a few things to drag you out. Creativity is one. Need is the other. Love and empathy actually mold these things into motivation. Ego makes it invincible. But every challenge at the end of the day ignites in us the instinct of the warrior. We revamp from the deepest part of our subconsciousness the memory of an ancient tribe, the echoes of a forgotten victory, the strength of a primordial survival. And we innovate by endorsing this winning memory in a natural process of transcendental inspiration. The individual success in this walk becomes an identity for an entire generation. So is, for example, Elon Musk's case. This generation now thinks big, dreams big, aims high, thanks to Musk and to some similar life-changing models. Innovation is the way, though, how your mind leads your soul to the highest satisfaction and turns this effort into your identity. You are your mission. You live for it. This explains actually the utmost gratification we experience the moment we innovate successfully. The fear and the challenges unite us. The courage is what distinguishes those who dare. Success may sound funny, but it divides us. But thanks God, there is innovation that brings us back together and turns into a collective identity for all of us. And in this framework, innovation is the soft power weapon that our civilization uses to win the battle for progress. It is the river of fresh waters that keeps all of our fields of action green and lush. By forging a new economy of ideas and a new asset of culture through a priceless process of R&D. Before I conclude, allow me to bring another example to explain somehow the value of innovation. Destiny Sky Pete was a member of the Shoshone and Paiute tribes from the Duck Valley Indian Reservation in Idaho and Nevada. She discovered that the chokecherry pudding that her tribe, Indian tribe, used to eat for centuries had some special cancer-fighting, features, properties. So together with Dr. Ken Cornell at Boise State University, they proved that chokecherry pudding successfully inhibited cancer cell growth in uterine sarcoma cancer. The revival of an ancient food healing values earned to the 18 Indian American girl the first grand prize in a national science fair. What do we draw out of this? The answers to our problems, the solutions that we are persistently searching, may sit both in the history of our human history, right, in the past of our human history, as much as in the future of our research. In both cases, we look for values in order to find answers. Answers alone may not guarantee that what you produce has a value. Look for values whenever you want to innovate. And no matter what is the question, the answer is going to be always the same. Love is the answer to all your efforts in order to succeed. Thank you so much.